What is up, guys? DT Ninja here to give you guys my RuroKen Hokkaido Arc Chapter 20 review and discussion. Yes, guys, it's that time again for another review and discussion for Kenshin. Yes. Okay, so before we even get to the review, I want to share some things that I recently got from Japan. So we're going to do an unboxing. So one of them is from the Meiji Mura museum, which is actually a village. It's a traditional village in Japan. And there is an event going on until December 15th of Kenshin, and there's like a real escape game, and there's all kinds of Kenshin related things there. Well, I ordered some items from that event. I couldn't actually go because, you know, it's only till the 15th, but I got the items today in the mail. So I wanted to do an unboxing, and I also got a rare animation cell, original animation cell. So we're going to look at both of them. So let's open up the one from Meiji Mura first. So it should be easy. So apparently when you go to the restaurants, there's a restaurant, you know, like a theme for Kenshin, and they have these at the restaurant. Now, this is what it looks like right here. So let's open it up. All right. So apparently they're brand new. I'm hoping they're brand new. We'll find out, right? All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Wow, that looks nice. Look at that. Look at that. That is really nice. Okay, so what it says is Meiji Mura Rurouni Kenshin, and then it says Kaoru Kamiya there. This is actually the cover for the, actually I have it right here. It's the cover for the, this volume. You can see it's the same cover, but it's actually a coaster. You can put drinks on it, so it's practical. That's really cool, though. So Kaoru there, and you can guess what the other one is. So the other one is, as you probably guessed it, yep, Kenshin. Yo, look at that. Look at that. So I got Kenshin and Kaoru. I also ordered Sano and Megumi, so I got 2 more on the way. But yeah, this is really cool. Like I said, you can only get these. They're exclusive to Meiji Mura, and they're very limited, right? So once December 15th is over, they're not going to have these items anymore. So that's why I ordered them online from a seller in Japan. So yeah. Really cool stuff. It's about what I figured it would be. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so the next thing we're going to unbox is my anime cell. Now, I kind of pre-loosened it a little bit before I even started this video. But yeah, we're going to get to it. So let's open this up. We got some tape. All that tape. Okay, I got it. Oh my gosh, look at that. Wow. Original anime cell from Kaoru Kamiya. Wow. That looks awesome. That is awesome. So yeah, I got this from a seller in Japan as well. Actually, I got it on the same site that I got it, the Meiji Mura one on. It's Mercari if you want to try it out. But yeah, really awesome. Good stuff. This is my second cell, my second anime cell. This is definitely my first Kenshin cell, so I'm very happy with this one. Really good stuff, really good quality. I'm loving it, really good. I saw it when I first, on the site, but wow, up close, it is, wow, completely different. But yeah, really cool. anyways, guys, those are my new items. The coasters and my anime cell. So, original artwork from the anime. Really cool stuff. Okay, guys, let's move on. So first things first, chapter 20, I'm going to point out some things I noticed, some things that were very interesting. Also, my discussion questions. So as always, I have some things that I noticed, I pointed out, that I'm going to point out to you, as well as some things that I'd like to further discuss about. So, and I also have some books to share with you guys. Some from volume 14, which has Shishio on the cover, and also Sojiro, because he's one of the characters that we're going to talk about in one of the questions. So yeah, and also volume 2 of Hokkaido Hen. So, all right, let's get to things I noticed. Okay, things I noticed. Okay, first things first. Last chapter, we thought that Eiji was going to fire on Sojiro. We thought Eiji was going to fire his rifle at Sojiro, and at the very beginning of this chapter, it's really intense. We see him with his rifle pointing right at Sojiro, and at the last second, he fires and points it towards Byakuya. At the last second. I mean, like, he moves it and shoots at Byakuya. Byakuya catches it with his hand like he normally does. And he's like, so, Demon Ogre, your horns have not yet grown. So it's very interesting because, remember, I had a whole theory that Byakuya was planning to do this, and maybe it still is. Maybe he had planned this because he defeated outright Saito in battle. Eiji came to help him. He found interest in him, so he withdrew. He became a prisoner, and that's why he's being interrogated right now. So it's very interesting, but at the same time, Eiji basically fired on him, so he's not going to go along with whatever Byakuya wanted him to do. So that was awesome. I like the suspense of that. And right as we see it fire, we see this image of Goryokaku. You know, it's a fortress, you know, a star fortress. And we see like the faces surrounding it. So everyone was shocked. Like, everyone thought that he fired on Sojiro at first. And then when we saw Byakuya's hand, we saw the end result there. So, but yeah, it was really cool because we see the background of Goryokaku, and it's very interesting because it also is very similar to the real Goryokaku. So if you look at that image on page 2, and you look at this image, which is the actual image from Goryokaku, the actual national park that you can go to, it's very similar. So I like how Watsuki actually used a very good look at the actual place. And also remember, this is a battle, right? This place where they're fighting is actually the place where Hijikata met his end. He died in the Battle of Hakodate, and Battle of Hakodate happened at Goryokaku. That is a place it happened. So it's very interesting as well. So you got some historical references as well. So, but anyways, okay. Though Eiji decides to join Saito's team, so we get that decision. I like that. I like that. But then he goes further and he's like, okay, guys, if you ever betray Saito Sensei or Kenshin, I will kill you with my bare hands. And this wasn't just like, I'll kill you. He was screaming bloody murder. Like, he was yelling at them like they were in serious trouble. And of course, Cho's like freaking out over there. Kamatari's like, yeah, I'd like to see you try it. It was funny seeing the different sides of them. And then, Henya's like, well, I have no interest in you, so it doesn't matter to me. So it's very interesting how we got that serious side, but also that part of him, that repressed anger. I mean, he's got this really when we saw it when he almost fired on Sojiro before, but like this repressed anger, he just let out all at once. So the next one, Byakuya's plan didn't quite work out the way he wanted it to, right? He was really hoping that the demon ogre within Eiji, the one that he can only see, will grow his horns and basically turn against his own comrades, right? And possibly become that capable warrior that he's been searching for. So we didn't actually see it happen, right? He kind of turned on him, and what's interesting is that he started laughing. He started laughing. You would think that he would be disappointed, but no, he's laughing hysterically, and he's like, yes, a spirit forged, through suffering is the product of hell. And I really like this because it also could mean that as long as that suffering remains within this boy, it's always possible for him to turn, and we could we could make him into that capable warrior. So it makes me think that maybe Byakuya is still considering Eiji as a possible, person that he would consider to be one of those warriors. So I found that interesting. And he's still confident. He's very confident that these combat field experiments will be successful. And we learn at the end of the chapter that he's trying to create a manifestation of hell, a battlefield, just an endless battlefield. So anyways, okay, the next thing, Sojiro quotes Shishio. He quotes Shishio. He says, "In the end, only the fittest survive in this world. If you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die." And what's interesting about this, he talks about it after he's been threatened that he's going to be, I'm going to kill you. He mentions this. He's trying to relate to Eiji a little bit. He's like, okay, I don't understand you fully, but you're not the only one in this situation. That's how I see him coming across. And it was interesting. I liked it. He's like, he's struggling inside. Obviously, Sojiro's still struggling to find the answer to his own, journey and everything. So it's interesting how they're trying to connect those two characters. So that was good. And that's going to be another discussion question. So stay tuned for a little bit. Okay, the next thing. Shinpachi originally stopped the fight with Kenshin and Byakuya to interrogate him, right? To ask him a question, right? But in this chapter, he says, let's continue the interrogation. So it kind of contradicts that. So I found that interesting. So literally the interrogation, when you think of interrogating someone, you think of asking questions, getting to a serious matter. But here we have an actual battle. So the battle is the actual interrogation. He says, let's continue the interrogation. So it's actually translated as interrogation, but it's actually a battle. Because we know Kenshin and Byakuya are still fighting, and they're trying to get more out of him. And the more that he fights, the more information they're going to extract from him. So anyways, I found that interesting. When you just think, let's continue the interrogation. Let's beat the hell out of each other. So that's kind of the way I saw it. Okay, next thing. Kenshin attacks Byakuya in a rash and reckless manner. We see him fight before, but now he's going all out. Byakuya is actually being pushed back this time. Before, he kind of almost blocked the Kuzuryusen, but not this time. This time he's pushed back. You can see him sliding back, more intensity in his power this time. And after the first attack, Byakuya's like, okay, he's starting to show a little more power, but it's still not enough to defeat me. And then all of a sudden, Kenshin just jumps right up and does another Kuzuryusen on him, and he had no idea what was going on because he got blasted again. And then the crazy thing is he did a third one. He probably didn't need to do it, but Byakuya was trembling at this point. Byakuya is like, he's just like, of course he has that sword in his mouth, so he didn't even have time to, get it out. But he has the sword in his mouth, and you can just see him. He's scared within, and he's like, oh my god, who is this guy? And he finally sees his fighting spirit which is a tornado. Okay, tornado. And what's interesting about that is that Tatsumaki in Japanese, Tatsu for the Chinese character, the kanji for it, is actually dragon. So tornado literally in Japanese, the Chinese character, dragon for Tatsu is actually, it means dragon. So like, I found that very interesting because, Ryu, Hiten Mitsuryugi, his style is also dragon. So, but anyways, I think I mentioned this before when we were talking about why doesn't he have a fighting spirit. But you can see his dragon here. This is in volume 13. This is in the original when he fought Shishio, when he unleashes the dragon. The Amakakare Ryu no Hirameki. Okay, so like I said, he sees it and he is blasted into the ground. I mean, he goes into the ground, smashed, and somehow Byakuya makes it to, his knees, and he's just laughing it up. He's like, yes, finally, it's a tornado. And so he's like satisfied. But then he goes on and he explains how there's no way in hell I can handle a power like that. Something that can completely obliterate their opponent. And he calls him a divine beast. He calls Kenshin a divine beast. I found that interesting. So, yeah. And then, of course, it allows Byakuya finally to reveal the last two places for the combat field experiment. So we finally get those locations. But anyways, those are the things I noticed, guys, in the chapter. Hey, if I didn't mention it already, Chris JP20, thank you very much for allowing me to use your color scans. Really awesome stuff. All right, guys, so let's move on to the discussion questions. And I wanted to, kind of further discuss some things that have been on my mind about this chapter and what we might see in the future chapters. So, okay, question number 1. Is Byakuya still considering Eiji as one of those capable warriors for the Kinkaku Heiki? I have to think yes, because even though he chose Saito's team, we saw that repressed anger. We saw that emotion on his face. We saw him, go off on the Juppon Gatana, telling them that, I'm going to kill you with my bare hands if you dare betray us and you try to run away. We saw that. And you can definitely see that suffering within him still remains. That suffering still remains. And as long as that suffering is still there, I think that Byakuya is still considering it, because he mentioned that I've been waiting for that moment where your horns would grow, because suffering, is one of those products of hell, It's one of those, a spirit forged through suffering is a product of hell, and he mentions that. And ironically enough, that is the idea that they're trying to put forth with these combat field experiments. So yes, maybe in the future chapters, maybe Byakuya will try to recruit him again, and maybe he's just had an eye on him, keeping an eye on him. But I like the idea that Byakuya just maniacally started laughing. It wasn't like he was shaken by the idea. It's almost like he almost expected it. So we saw him laugh, we saw him smile after all these, surprises. So I liked it. Okay, the next question. What does Sojiro mean when he tells Eiji that if he defies the law of nature, it's an absolute victory? Okay, so he talks about how Shishio taught him that it's kill or be killed. If you're strong, you live. If you're weak, you die. That's how he grew up. Shishio was kind of a father figure to Sojiro, right? So he grew up with this idea that if he's not strong, he's better off dead. That's the idea. This is something he's got to get. This is the whole idea, the answer he's been searching for. And Kenshin, when he came along, he's the one that made him question that. And now we get Eiji here, who is telling him, you guys are wrong for what you did. You killed my family. I will never forgive you. And the whole idea here, Eiji is not a strong, warrior. He's not like Sojiro or Kenshin, right? He's kind of a weaker compared to them. So Sojiro says, even though you're weak, and if you even go further and try to, take us out, you defy the law of nature. So it's an absolute victory for you. So what I think that means is that even if you're weak and you fight us, you defy the law of nature. But if you do as if I've been doing my whole life, if you're strong, and you do kill us, you still win. So like the whole idea is it's a win-win for him. But he's trying to understand him as well, he doesn't quite understand where he's coming from. He doesn't know his whole background and everything. But I like how Sojiro is trying to connect with him, and he even goes as far as saying, let's find the answer together. He talks about how he wanted to make sure that the answer that Shishio, if it was right or wrong, he wanted to know, because when he was a kid, he didn't know. He was told this, and this is what he grew up believing. So it's very ingrained into his being and the way he, just has been. So it's very interesting how both of them have different situations, but they also kind of connect to each other, because I did like how that was. But anyways, what do you guys think about that? Okay, the next thing. Why did Kenshin attack Byakuya with 3 consecutive Kuzuryu-sen? Fully well knowing that that would really be a bad idea and hurt him in the end. Kenshin, obviously, we saw him. He was completely exhausted. He fell to his knees. I mean, Sano had to help him. Kenshin's basically out of it. His stamina's all gone. I mean, what are the repercussions for this, How badly did he hurt himself? Why did he do this? Why did he fight? Why did he attack him 3 Kuzuryu-sen? This is absolutely crazy. He's never done anything like this before. This is my idea. Okay, Byakuya is irrational. He's an irrational character. He's a bizarre character. He's an eccentric. That is his nickname for the Kenkaku Heki. Everything he does is not going to be logical. We've seen he has this black magic. He's able to, pull things out of the ground. We've seen he's able to block attacks, snap swords in half. We've seen it. He has some mystical powers. And he also has a pain tolerance that is unheard of. I mean, it's unreal. But even with all of that, Kenshin believed that with all his strength that he could still take him out. And that's why I believe he did it. Because Byakuya was not a character that he was going to, was not a man that he was going to be able to defeat with logic. Okay? He was going to have to do something irrational and crazy himself just to match Byakuya. That's my feeling. He had to be as crazy as Byakuya to defeat him. And then, oh my gosh, he defeated him. He badly defeated him. I think he defeated him after the second Kuzuryu-sen. But yeah, anyways, really cool stuff. Yeah. But yeah, how badly is he hurt? How badly did this hurt him? Like, obviously he's going to have to recuperate in the next chapter, maybe in the next couple chapters, I don't know. And I liked how Shinpachi mentioned that, I was hoping that Kenshin would hold back his power because Saito's really injured right now, but I forgot how explosive this guy's personality is. That's another thing. His personality is explosive, and something crazy had to have happened to defeat this guy and to get the information out of him. That's why I think. And it was absurd. Like, why would you do that? It was still awesome. But like when you think about it logically, it's crazy, right? Okay, the next thing. What can we expect from the next targets for the Kinkaku Heiki's combat field experiments? We have Otaru, and we also have Sapporo. So what I've done here is I've actually been to both locations. I traveled there back in 2009. So I'm going to share some photos of, from that trip so I can show you exactly what these places look like and why I feel they may try to, create a battlefield there. So one, Otaru is a kind of seaport. It's kind of on the Sea of Japan, so it's beautiful, but there's a lot of things there, a lot of resources. That's probably one of the reasons they chose it. But yeah, it's a really cool place. I really enjoyed it. It's got a lot of seafood, obviously. Yeah, so I want you to take a look at these photos. Pretty cool. All right, guys. So yeah, that's Otaru. That's Otaru. And the next one we're gonna look at is Sapporo. Sapporo. Sapporo is very known for its beer and also a lot of things actually. So Hokkaido University is another interesting thing because at Hokkaido University, Shinpachi, obviously you know the character Nagakura, his actual image is shown there. So like you see like a thing with the Shinsengumi, and it actually shows like a sword with him, and it says Nagakura Shinpachi. So I thought that was cool. But anyways, that's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, guys, so that's my review and discussion. I talked about a lot of things. Chapter 21. Okay, Chapter 21 is actually out right now. And if you go to DT Ninja 831, my Facebook page, you can see some spoilers. There's some family moments in this one. Kenshin's recuperating. There's different fronts, so you're going to get Tokyo and Hokkaido. So that just gives you a little hint of what to expect. And you even get a little bit from, the upcoming battles of Otaru and Sapporo. So really cool stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.